Hey, so I'm gonna be replacing my negative battery cable. It's sort of kind of like a harness. So basically what's happening is I'm having not all type, but like random electrical issues with like my certain lights on my dashboard will just randomly come on. And sometimes my not my auto start, but my remote start, it won't work. So diagnose the symptoms, and basically what's happening is because this cable / connection right here is getting old, it's not getting the proper voltage, so some of the sensors are starting to bug out. So I'm gonna replace that. Shouldn't be too hard of a job. I don't know if you can see that. My Brett Thomas voice. But yeah, I gotta get my hands down up in there, replace that. See, even if you look right there, you see some corrosion. You know what I mean? I mean, it's an older vehicle. I had this thing for over a decade. So yeah, it's about time, you know, common maintenance. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, we definitely gotta get that up out of here. And I'm gonna have to apologize. My engine bay is a little dirtier than usual. And also we're gonna replace this. Like I said, see, over time, man, like if y'all got older vehicles, this is why you gotta open your engine bay yourself and not just go to a mechanic, man, because they're not checking everything for you. Look at this. If I'm doing an oil change for a customer and I open up their engine bay and I see this, I mean, at the very least, I will let them know, like, hey, man, you know, one of your casings is starting to come off because of the heat. And, you know, really, to be honest with you, this is like a 5-minute job. I would just do that shit for them. You know what I mean? I would put that on there. Because all you got to do is just wrap this heat shield around these wires and tape it up. And that could really keep you from breaking down on the side of the road. Because what could end up happening is, let's say the engine heats up, and without this heat shield, these wires melt. Man, this thing could fry your computer system, bro. And you could be out of a couple $1,000s, or shit, maybe even $5,000 to $10,000, depending on your vehicle model. So, you know, I ain't saying you got to be, you know, a mechanic or nothing, but just get in and check your engine bay out yourself from time to time and look at the obvious things. Yeah, I just changed out a lot of this stuff, so, you know, I ain't gonna find too much in here, but that's the job at hand. Get down in there. There's another one that runs all the way down to the bottom. That's probably gonna be the hardest part, because I'm gonna have to get down on my old back and knees and reach around and reach my hand up there and get in there. But yeah, so we're gonna knock it out. Do it before and after. Tools required. So I'm gonna use a metric ratchet set right here. Probably need an Allen wrench key too. And then this is the new harness right here. Look at that. See how it's all fresh. The heat shield is all new. Wires for the wiring harness, the clamps. And then we got some zip ties. That's another thing, man. Always make sure, if you got stuff in your engine bay, or if you do, you know, you got electronics and stuff that's hooked up and connected, make sure, man, get you like $5 and get you some zip ties and zip tie that stuff around so it ain't flapping all over the place, man. Yeah, my truck kind of dirty too. See, we got to get inside that wheel well right here. I had to modify this a little bit because my tires so damn big. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna have to get behind this portion right here. I'm gonna have to pull this off and try to get my hand up in there. But yeah, let's get started. And we got them pop rivets out. Open it up. That's what it looked like. Alright, so if you see this wire right here, once again, this is a shitty job by whoever came in here and did this from before. I'm not gonna say who did it. It's a shop I took it to, just being lazy. But yeah, that won't happen again. But yeah, this is the cable I gotta chase down and find out the last mounting point. And I'm gonna disconnect it and then connect the new one. All right, after a little struggle, you know what I mean, we finally got this thing up out of here. So this is the old harness, and like I said, upon further examination, you can see that there's clearly some visible signs of corrosion. I mean, no big deal. Like I said, you know, it's a older vehicle, and you know, things happen. This is what we do maintenance for, right? Check that out. Ugh. And then keep in mind, I also have a sound system, so I'm pulling a lot more electrical energy than a typical vehicle. And then another thing to keep in mind, if you live in like a humid climate, you could be subjected to more issues related to electrical problems and wiring harnesses and all that. And I'll show y'all what it should look like, what the new one look like. So the only bad thing about it is on my old one, right? I had the gold plated tip, which is way better for electrical currents because it's more conducive, more conductive, I mean. But I mean, whatever, you know. It's a new one, like I said. You can see it's clean, clear. Spray a little anti-corrosion on there before you get it all connected. And so yeah, I'm gonna install it. Then I'm gonna test my remote start, and we should be back in action, man. So also, like I showed y'all earlier, I got another little area right here where my wiring shield seems to be cracked. So while I'm in here, you know, I'm all caffeinated and turned up, I'm gonna go ahead and take my engine cover off. Pretty easy. So if you never actually looked at your engine yet, you just pop that engine cover right off. It's typically what you see when you open your engine bay. You don't see the actual engine like this, and I need to get in here and clean this out, but you know, I'll get around to it. So this is right here coming from the spark plugs. I just need to get a little, I'm gonna actually use the heat shield from the old wiring harness I just took off, and I'm gonna save myself a little bit of money, and I'm just gonna wrap it around here, tape it together, and bang, bang. All right, so like I said, I went in here, you know, tighten this up a little bit. I put some of the heat shield around it, then just kind of taped it up. You know, not the most aesthetically pleasing job, but it'll hold. And like I said, it'll protect those wires from all the excessive heat in the engine bay, especially during the summertime. So let me put this other harness back on and finish the job. All right, so before we get into the installation, I'm gonna show y'all this. This is battery cleaner and corrosion preventative. So before you reconnect your battery and your terminal post and all that, it's a good idea to just go ahead and you know, clean that stuff off and then spray the corrosion prevention on there, and this will make sure that your cables last longer. All right, so we got that part of the wire harness in there. It's all good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, like I said, I had a cable just dangling here. Bang, wang, wang. I'm gonna zip tie this down. I'm gonna close the wheel well back up. Then we're gonna finish the rest and test it out. All right, man, there we go. We got action. Like I said, you know, from the beginning to the completed project. I got my anti-corrosion on there. You know what? I'm pretty pleased with the job. Like I said, tighten all that up with the wires that was loose. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna clean it up, and we gonna run the remote start, see what happens. Here we go, the moment of truth. See what we got. yeah, we got action. Yeah, man, everything seems to be in order. We're gonna clean this bad boy up, and that's a wrap. And that's it. Way better now. Yeah, I used to use, I used to clean it, and then I used to dress it up to give it shine, but you know, the way Arizona's set up with this dust, it just ends up being more hassle. So now I just spray some degrease on there. Really just trying to get like the manifolds and where the connections to the headers are made. Clean up some of the gunk on the suspension system. Obviously make sure the battery area and the cold air intake area is clean. And then I just wipe it down.
I'm hustling all day from reverie to retreat. I stack now and shine later, getting mine on the back end. I'm back in shape, bitch, I'm back to win. I'm back again, better than ever, better than you know. I'm back with more cheddar to blow.